Hotepu everyone. Today I will answer a question often posed to me about this image on the screen of Harukhuti'S, your inner warrior, the part of you that says you have the right to survive and thrive, and the part of you that scans your astrology chart, meaning your life, and your chakras, meaning your life, looking for broken parts, broken units, things in your life that are contradictory, things in your life that are hypocritical and are not working. He will go in and, with that scalpel in his hand of sorts, that scimitar, will begin to etch out, cut out those broken parts and replace them. So, whatever's broken in your love life or your money or your family life, he will go in, find out what's not working in that system, repair it or replace it. Okay, to him, it's not even emotional, it's just, it's not functioning properly. So, he says it's got to be replaced or fixed. Harukhuti'S is his name. Haru means astrologer. Kuhu means fire, light, heat, wisdom. Ti means double. He's the astrologer of the who looks at the chart with double fire. He is when you look at your chart, your life, with a laser eye to see what of your 12 houses is not working, what's broken in your 12 houses, what's hypocritical in them, and he gets rid of them and replaces them, like I said before, like a carburetor to a mechanic for a car. Now, the word Heru links to the word sun. So he deals with the sun. He's the double heat of the sun. Harukhuti'S, the sun doubly hot. So his crown must talk about the sun in some way. I'm going to first focus your eye on these kind of tube-looking shapes. You have 3 yellow and 2 greenish ones. These correspond to the motions of the sun throughout the seasons, what's called an analemma, which I'll show here. This is an actual time-lapse image of the position of the sun at noon throughout the year over the same house. It took 1 year to get this image. This is the analemma, or the figure 8, that the sun makes every year in the sky. Those of you who know Osar, who wears a white crown on his head, or Nekabet also wears a white crown on her head, this shape is exactly the shape of Osar, the signs of good DNA. And so links Osar, your good DNA or your ancestry, to the solar tropical cycle of the seasons. But Harukhuti'S also is dealing with something about the seasons, encapsulated in these kind of cut off analemma. So now we have the basis of analyzing his crown. We have 3 big suns here and 3 small suns. Okay, this is the winter solstice sun, spring equinox sun, summer solstice sun. Here we're going from when the sun is reborn but getting stronger, the end of winter, the beginning from winter, December 21st to 24th. The 24th is the beginning of the growth of the light of the seasons. Then spring comes. This is the equinox sun, the equinox analemma point. This is the summer solstice point, the hottest sun. So you see these 3 brighter or larger sun disks are showing the time of the year when the sun is moving towards its greater, bigger strength, thus bigger circles. After summer, June 25th or so, then we have the fall equinox here, then we have the winter solstice here. You see the sun is getting weaker. Okay? So the reason why these are shown as smaller sun disks is because it is during this half of the year, from June 25th to December 25th, the sun is getting weaker. And it also shows that your part of the earth tilts, that it's tilting away from the sun. Here at the summer, wherever you live, is tilting towards the sun. It's getting more heat because it's tilting in that direction. Here it's getting less heat because the part you're on is tilting away from the sun towards outer space. There's a lot of astronomy going on here. Okay? And these green analemma are the midpoints. So if this is, let's say here, this is this yellow analemma, and this sun, this is the winter solstice sun. This middle one is the equinox, spring equinox sun. This is the summer solstice sun. The midpoints between winter solstice and equinox is shown here, but it's kind of a background energy. That's why it's shown as a background. And the midpoint between the equinox and the summer solstice sun has a middle date. The middle point between those two, which is also kind of a background energy compared to the strong forward-moving areas, or the yellow areas. Harukhuti's is a force in you that likes to deal with challenge. When things are changing a lot, things are on the move, the heat's on, he likes to come and do his thing, show off. So these stations of the sun, these 5 analemma stations, where the sun is changing its course from maximal heat light to minimal, and the midpoints, those are points of transition, like crossroads, that Harukhuti's likes to appear in, because then he can show off and save the day and be the hero and save the damsel in distress kind of idea. Okay? These 2 snakes correspond to the psychic energies at the winter and summer solstices, that those hyper points of the year requires psychic activities, symbolized by snakes, and the kind of spiraling horns here represent the rotation of the earth. That's why they use the particular ram with the spiral horn, showing that the seasons and the daylight heat ratios are created by the rotation of the earth. Okay, the kind of spin or torsion effect the earth goes through on its axis and around the sun, because these horns are kind of spinning. And these horns follow a very strict, what's called a Fibonacci sequence. We call it the golden beetle, the temple sequence, because many Kemetic temples, the way they laid out the temples, were based upon what's called the Fibonacci ratios. He's telling you to start looking at math, what's called geometry, the measure of the earth, math, ratios of what's happening in nature as the earth is spinning on its axis and spinning around the sun. That's a basic understanding of his crown. It's encapsulating the message to maximize the turning points of the year with psychic powers, and how these turning points are based upon the earth's movements, and to emphasize the heating side from December 25th to June 25th, when the sun's getting hot. He likes that half of the year, what's called the northern declination of the sun. These are the southern declination of the sun, when the sun's getting weaker from June, then to September, then to December. Okay, and to use these power dates, and particularly these first 3, and then to use these first 3 to psychically purify your chart, purify your life, cut out the mess, and to reinforce that in a more meditative or inward way at these points of the cooling half of the year from June 25th to December 25th. Okay? And there is Harukhuti's, he of the arm of justice here. This is the long arm of the justice you see here, the long arm of justice. And that's the meaning of this principle, this science. May you understand that his name Harukhuti's, justice, means doubly just. You cannot affect justice on somebody else if you have injustice in your life. So justice means I can't judge you and correct you if I'm incorrect. What a beautiful psychology of justice. May you be doubly justice at great times of the year. Dwawen Hotepu.